Okay, I will again call to order the July 27th, 2022 meeting of the Chautauqua County Legislature. Now, would the clerk please call the roll?
Sure. Mr. Bankowski.
Here.
Mr.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Feidler and I reside in Ellery. I am here in support of New York Citizens Audit and their findings. New York Citizens Audit is an all-volunteer team of concerned citizen volunteers working to restore integrity to the New York State election system. A copy of a petition for redress of grievances was submitted to the State Attorney General, the New York State Board of Elections Commissioners, and the Secretary of State earlier this year. This petition outlines violations of New York State election law based on an analysis performed by the New York Citizens Audit team on the publicly available New York State voter rolls. In the fall of 2021, the New York Citizens Audit team obtained voter data from several official sources, including the Secretary of State, the New York State precincts, the State Board of Elections, the recent census, and some New York counties. A complete analysis and comparison was undertaken, which uncovered shocking and egregious violations of law, irregularities, and irreconcilable data in the 2020 general election. The petition you will be given tonight also details grievances specific to Chautauqua County with signatures from county residents. If you would like more information about the New York Citizens Audit Team processes and findings, I refer you to their website, auditnewyork.com, as well as their town hall presentations around the state on their Rumble page. Inquiries to New York Citizens Audit can be made via info@auditnewyork.com. The Chautauqua County citizens who have signed this petition ask the Chautauqua County legislators to review, investigate, and take all corrective measures as stated in the proposed resolution that will be made available to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Satnam. Good evening. My name is Diana Porebsky, and I reside in Gary, New York. I am also here with much pride to support the New York Citizens Audit and their findings. Fair, honest, and transparent elections are a bedrock of our constitutional republic. Citizens must have confidence in election process, and the end result must be verifiable. The number of irregular votes for Chautauqua County totals at least 2,861, which puts in question many down-ballot races in 2020. The complete list of findings are detailed in the petition presented to you tonight. The abhorrent state of the New York voter rolls include many duplicate voters and votes, missing voters and votes, dead voters, as well as the fact that numbers between the precincts, county, and state don't reconcile with each other. This violates the rule of law, equal protections under the law, and proper administration of the election, rendering the election defective and uncertifiable. Decisions are being made by representatives who may not have been legally elected by the citizens of Chautauqua County and New York State. The information discovered by the New York Citizens Audit team in a simple mathematical analysis of the voter rolls should have been easily discovered by government officials entrusted with the sanctity of our elections. The fact that those officials did not do so calls into question the integrity of the whole election system. The citizens of Chautauqua County who have signed this petition ask you that you review the information presented to you and provide a response within 30 days so that corrective action can be taken in a timely manner. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name is Timothy O'Malley. I'm a resident of Brockton, New York. I'm also here in support of New York Citizen Audit and their statewide findings. Across the state, New York Citizens Audit discovered over 321,000 unique instances of identity theft with the official New York State Board of Election records. Identity theft in this sense relates to voters having more than one SBO EID. Across the state, legitimate or forged voter registration records were apparently cloned and assigned an additional unique New York State Board of Elections ID number, contrary to law. The audit also found 30,000 to 50,000 instances of likely identity theft where matching records in question appeared to represent the married and maiden name of the same individual. It is possible that the true number of excess registrations and votes is higher than stated here, provided any of the records are wholly fictitious. For now, New York State Citizens Audit presumes that for every set of matching records, one is legitimate and the remainder are fraudulent. Each instance represents several felonies under federal law, New York State penal law, and New York election law. It is inconceivable that over 321,000 New York State residents all intended and succeeded in duplicating their official voter record. Let's put this number in perspective. The magnitude of 321,000 instances is greater than the population of our county, plus the county of Cattaraugus, plus the county of Allegheny. In this sense, we are being unrepresented. We are being disenfranchised by the number of duplicate records that voters have across the state. To our credit, Chautauqua County has been quite good. Our records are very consistent. But statewide, this appears to be quite a problem. That's why New York State Citizens Audit is bringing this forward. Let's see. These are actually crimes. Voter fraud is a crime. It's a felony. These crimes could only have been perpetuated by someone with official access to voter rolls, because it's not up to the voters themselves, but they were given ballots based on name and address, not by Board of Election ID numbers. So someone else could cast multiple votes or be able to cast these multiple votes. Research by New York Citizens Audit also indicates that this pattern of identity fraud within the New York Board of Elections can be linked credibly to evidence of mass disenfranchisement of voters across New York State, regardless of political party, age, or any other demographic indicator.
Excuse me, you've exceeded your 3 minutes. Please wrap it up.
All right. I thank you for your kind attention, and this is just to bring this to everyone's attention that this is an issue statewide, but not particularly in Chautauqua County. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Carl Feidler, resident of Ellery. I'm here also in support of the New York Citizens Audit and their findings. I would like to share with you a few of the findings related to this county. The Chautauqua County voter rolls maintained by the New York State Board of Election demonstrate that 919 voter discrepancy exists between our precinct vote tabulation count and the New York State record, and a 466 voter discrepancy exists between our precinct vote tabulation and the New York Secretary of State certified results. Additionally, a 453 vote discrepancy exists between the New York State Board of Elections and the Secretary of State regarding Chautauqua County. Chautauqua County voter rolls maintained by the New York State Board of Elections demonstrate that there are 1,979 duplicate State Board of Election ID numbers assigned, 30 of which registered votes in the 2020 election. Chautauqua County voter rolls maintained by the New York State Board of Elections demonstrate that 1,184 people voted without a resident address on record in their voter roll. Our county voter rolls maintained by the New York State Board of Elections demonstrates that 475 people registered to vote after the legal cutoff date and voted on election date. The petitions assessed these facts in combination with other facts presented in the petition tonight prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the 2020 general election was defective and must be recertified in Chautauqua County. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Erica Myers. I'm from Jamestown, New York. I'm also here in support of New York Citizens Audit and their findings. Part of the analysis conducted by New York Citizens Audit included using Dr. Douglas Frank's algorithm to analyze the voter turnout in each county in New York State by age from 18 to 100. Using Albany County as a baseline, the New York Citizens Audit team created a 6-factor polynomial equation. They then applied this equation to the data of every other county outside of New York City, 57 counties in all. They also created an algorithm for the 5 New York City boroughs using Queens County as the baseline. They were able to predict with an average accuracy of 99.3% what the actual voter turnout by age was for each county in the 2020 general election. Specifically, Chautauqua County's voter turnout by age was predicted with a 99.5% degree of accuracy. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the graph for Chautauqua County. The red line represents the projected results, and the blue line represents the actual results. When human behavior is involved, this level of accuracy between predicted and actual voter turnout is extremely unusual. It did not matter whether the county had a higher level of college students or retirees, or that there are any other number of outside factors that might influence voter turnout on any given day. The predicted and actual patterns were almost identical. This would appear to indicate that there was an artificial algorithmic control of the results of the 2020 election. You can find a more detailed explanation of the Dr. Frank analysis in the petition that is presented to you tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Linda DeGregorio. I live in the town of Gary. I'm also here to support the New York Citizens Audit and their findings. Because of the massive discrepancies between the official sources regarding the 2020 general election voting, New Yorkers are facing a crisis in governance. When the discrepant counts outnumber the margin of victory in a particular race, the outcome is no longer known. A majority of our state senators cannot prove that they won due to the problems highlighted by the New York Citizens Audit research. When the discrepancies are added to the illegal votes cast within the district in question, more and more races are affected. If the margin of victory was small, the discrepancies do not need to be very large to impact the legitimacy of the contest results. New York Citizens Audit is working to analyze outcomes by district. The results for Chautauqua County will be made available to you when they are completed by the end of July. Until this work is finished, New York Citizens Audit can say with confidence that the issues uncovered statewide affects over 50% of our state legislature. This means that the legislation currently being passed by the state legislature is likely not done by duly elected representatives of New York residents. These petitioners assert these facts in combination with other facts presented tonight prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the 2020 general election was defective and must be decertified in Chautauqua County. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm of Jamestown. I'm also here in support of the New York Citizens Audit and the findings. The proposed resolution being presented to you tonight reads in part, to the New York State Attorney General and New York State Board of Elections, be it resolved by the Chautauqua legislators of the New York State, the members concurring the following points, that the members of the Chautauqua legislature recognize that lawful voters expect that election officials and state legislators will do their sworn duty to ensure that lawful votes of the people as cast are honored and not diluted or debased by acts classified by the New York Legislature as criminal acts. That substantial irregularities and violations of New York State election law, Section 16, are specifically classified as criminal behaviors. That there was infringement on the legislature of the state of New York authority pursuant to the U.S. Constitution under legislative plenary power and the supremacy clause to regulate elections. That the selection of presidential electors and other statewide electoral contest results in this state involving federal offices is in dispute. That based on the clear and convincing nature of the evidence cited in this resolution, there remains an irreconcilable controversy that cannot be resolved with the declaration of a clear winner, and as such is irredeemably compromised. That the members of the Chautauqua Legislature hereby notify the President of the New York State Senate, the Speaker of New York State Assembly, and the members of Congress from the state of New York that it is the justifiable position of the Chautauqua Legislature that we set aside the results of the Chautauqua County elections as irredeemably compromised. And the following subpoints: reclaim the 2020 presidential electors, decertify the 2020 federal presidential election, decertify New York State down ballot races where the winner cannot prove that they won by a margin in excess of the total irregular registrations and votes in that voting district. Conduct a full forensic audit of the 2020 election and reject electronic voting and move to paper ballots. A copy of this resolution is going to be presented, if we haven't already.
At the end of it.
Okay, at the end. And the emails are going to be delivered by Erica Myers to all the full team. We'll receive the full package, so you'll have it digitally. Thank you.
Thank you.